Alright, so here's a quick video on the Maier Racing subframe connectors install on our 68 Tribute car. And this is a little bit funny because we've got the entire car upside down. It's not necessarily on a rotisserie. We actually flipped it and put it on a lift. It looks a little bit funny. But in any case, the point is, you'll see that all the spots are ground to bare metal. The edges are ground to bare metal. The center portion of the hole is ground to bare metal. And we've also taken off the emergency brake brackets. And then there was a clutch pedal bracket that was up towards the front that we removed because I'm going to use a hydraulic setup. But I don't know on the front that you'd absolutely have to. You might have to notch the subframe connector. But these are just sitting on here loose at the moment. I'm going to grab my dead blow hammer and knock them down a little bit in position and then tack weld them into place and then come back to you with a little bit more video. Okay, so this is the front side, actually the driver's side on the floor. So I ground away a little bit more paint, put a first bead down there to just kind of lock in the front. Came over here, put a bead down there to lock in the back. And now I'll go ahead and fill in all these other spots. You can see these things fit pretty freaking snug. To be honest, it's been a long time since I've installed any subframe connectors here at the shop. But yeah, it's coming together pretty good. Okay, so here's the deal. The subframe connector install is basically done. I learned a little something, as funny as it is. When I powder coated this orange, everything shows up. So when I initially showed you in the first part of this video, the tabs, I had just ground down the bare essentials. Well, when you're doing that on a black subframe connector, the soot doesn't show up quite as bad. And on the on the orange, the powder coat catches fire and then it burns and then the soot goes up and makes the subframe connector look bad. So the news is, just go ahead and grind down the powder coating and then come back and paint in that section later. But yeah, that's essentially the trick to it. The other thing I want to mention is that on the front, on my car here, I don't know if you can see it in here, I was able to weld this section here, but I could not get in here and I could not get in there. I was able to weld the back side, but there's just too much of a gap here. You know, frankly speaking, these subframe connectors fit really, really tight for this particular car. And the reason we put the holes in, a lot of people think that these are for bolting, but they're not. It's just more locations to weld. So on the side, I got in some plug welds there. I welded the front, the bottom, and the back here. And I had the same problem over here. This was the worst part of it. The car is upside down right now, and so this is the passenger side, and I had a little bit of a gap here to get it to lay down. So what I did, these videos are watched by people that are handy craftsmen to people that have never even touched a welder before. So for those of you that may not know, what I ended up doing is in the center here, I had somebody stand on the subframe connector and get it down as low as I could. I tack welded it here. Well, actually back up a little bit. We didn't have the subframe connector completely forward. So at this point here, we used a dead blow hammer and we hammered it a little bit to push it so it's really snug up against the frame rail. Then we came back here, we tack welded this, got it in place, tack welded that, and then I had somebody stand on this end to get it so it would stay down. And when the car is right side up, you can do that with a jack if you're on the ground, or you can do it with one of the arms from the lift. You can put something under it and lift it up. So in any case, hopefully this helps your subframe connector job. Now we are going to just do the touch-up paint and finish it up.